Have you ever stood up and felt like the room spun for a second, or taken a few steps and felt like your legs weren't quite on your side anymore? If you're over 65, or you have loved ones who are, this isn't just a fluke. Balance issues sneak up on you, and by the time you notice them, they've already made everyday movements harder and more dangerous. Now let me be clear, losing balance is not just about age, it's about habits. Small mistakes we repeat every day without even realizing they're slowly chipping away at our strength, coordination, and stability. And today I'm going to walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes that people over 65 often make that hurt their balance. These mistakes might not seem like a big deal at first, but over time, they can make walking, standing, and even turning around in your kitchen feel like a challenge. So in the next few minutes, we're going to dive deep. I'll share stories from real people, the ones I've worked with, the lessons they've learned, and the simple changes that made all the difference in their daily lives. If you stick with me through the end, you'll walk away knowing exactly what to stop doing and what to start doing today to protect your balance and hold on to your independence. And if you're a caregiver or you have parents or grandparents who are starting to feel a little unsteady, these 5 mistakes are the ones to look out for, gently correct, and work on together. You don't have to accept balance loss as just part of getting older. There's a lot you can do to stay steady, strong, and confident on your feet no matter your age. So let's get started. Mistake number 1 is one I see all the time, and I mean all the time, especially when people think they're being cautious. And that mistake is avoiding ankle and foot exercises. Now I get it. The last thing you want to do is add another exercise to your daily routine. But hear me out. Your feet and ankles are your first point of contact with the ground. They are your body's foundation, the part of you that tells your brain what's going on underneath you. Are you stepping on a flat surface or a bumpy one? Are you shifting your weight too far forward or too far to the side? All of that critical feedback comes from your feet. But here's the catch. If your feet and ankles are weak, stiff, or underused, that feedback gets fuzzy. Your brain doesn't get the full picture. And when your brain doesn't know what's happening below you, it can't help you balance properly. That's when slips, trips, and wobbles start to happen more frequently. I worked with a man named Joe. He was 72, and he always wore thick slippers around the house. He didn't think anything of it until one day he stepped down on his front steps and rolled his ankles so badly he couldn't walk for a week. When we talked, I asked him, when was the last time he moved his ankles on purpose? He looked at me and said, "Do people even do that?" We started simple. Toe taps while sitting, ankle circles in bed before standing up, just moving the foot in every direction a few times a day. Within weeks, he said he felt more grounded. His steps were more secure, and he wasn't afraid of going down the stairs anymore. That's the kind of change you can feel fast, just from working those muscles and joints that have been quietly stiffening over the years. Another thing to consider is that the small muscles in your feet help stabilize you every time you shift your weight. If you've been wearing shoes with tons of padding or support all your life, those muscles might not have been doing their fair share. Think about that. Even when you're walking perfectly upright, if your foot isn't flexible or strong enough to respond to uneven ground, your whole body has to compensate. That's when the hips overwork, the knees twist, or the back starts to hurt, all because the feet aren't doing their job. So if you're not already doing it, start giving your feet some attention. Roll a tennis ball under your arch, flex and point your toes, stand barefoot on a soft surface, and try to balance for 30 seconds. These little things send a message to your body. Hey, we're still using this, so keep it strong. The truth is, balance doesn't begin with your brain or your inner ear. It begins the moment your foot touches the ground. If your feet and ankles aren't trained to adapt and react, your chances of falling go way up, and nobody wants to live in fear of a fall. That's why this is the first mistake we're talking about. It's simple to fix, but so many people ignore it. So here's what I want you to do. Before you even get out of bed tomorrow, move your ankles in big, slow circles. Flex your toes. Press your heels into the mattress. And then when you stand up, pause for a second and feel the ground under you. That awareness builds over time. Your balance doesn't have to fade with age, but it will fade if you stop using the parts of your body that control it. If you're still with me and this part of the video spoke to you, do me a favor and comment number 1 below. It lets me know you're watching, and it tells YouTube that this kind of content matters. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and tap the bell so you never miss a new video. Now let's keep moving. Mistake number 2, and this is one I see even more often than the first, is relying too much on furniture or walls for support instead of working on actual balance. Now, I'm not saying don't use support if you need it, but there's a big difference between temporary support and permanent dependence. What I'm talking about is when someone walks through their home with one hand brushing along the wall, or gripping countertops, or placing their palm flat on the back of a chair just to move from room to room. And you know what? For some people, this starts out as a little safety thing, just something to do just in case, but over time, it becomes a crutch. And when your body learns to rely on that crutch, it slowly forgets how to balance on its own. I remember working with a woman named Carol. She was 78 and lived alone in a small but cozy house. Every time I visited her, she'd glide along the hallway using her fingertips like bumpers in a bowling lane. I asked her why she did that, and she told me, "It just makes me feel safer." And sure, it might make you feel safer for now, but that constant light support, even if it's just a few fingers on the wall, sends a message to your brain that you need help to stand up straight. That belief sinks in, and eventually your muscles stop responding the way they should. Because why would they? You're not asking them to. And that's when your balance really starts to fade. So here's the thing. If you're always using your hand to steady yourself, you're not giving your legs, your core, and your inner balance systems a chance to do their job. And the longer you go without using them, the weaker they get. It's like any muscle. Stop using it and it fades. Use it and it grows. Carol and I worked together for a couple of months. I had her start doing what I call fingertip tests. Every day she'd walk her hallway with her hands just slightly off the wall. At first it was nerve-wracking for her. She said her body didn't know what to do without that light touch. But week by week, she started standing taller, walking smoother, and by the end of our work together, she could walk from one end of the house to the other without touching anything. Her confidence went through the roof. What most people don't realize is that the more you rely on external support, the more your inner support weakens. That includes the tiny stabilizing muscles in your hips, the deep core muscles around your spine, and even the muscles in your knees that respond to sudden shifts in balance. When you don't use them, you lose them. That's not just a saying, that's real science. Your nervous system adapts based on what you ask it to do. If all you're asking it to do is touch the wall, it won't practice staying upright on its own. But if you take a few minutes every day to walk short distances without support, even just a few steps at a time, your brain starts to relearn that you can handle it. Let me tell you, nothing builds confidence like balance. When you trust your own body again, everything changes. You stop dreading that step off the curb. You stop avoiding the store because you're worried about slick floors. You stop saying no to things you used to love because you're afraid you might fall. I know this sounds like a small change, but it's huge. I worked with a couple once, Jim and Linda, both in their 70s. Jim had developed a habit of using his cane even in places he didn't need it, like when walking from his bed to the bathroom. I asked him to try standing for just 10 seconds in place without it, every morning. First week, he was nervous. Second week, he started smiling while doing it. By week 4, he was walking to the bathroom without it at all. It's those little things that snowball. Now, I'm not saying go throw away your cane or your walker if you truly need it. Safety comes first, always. But if you're leaning on walls just because it's comfortable or using furniture as a pathway, start questioning that habit. Ask yourself, is this helping me or is it making me weaker? Because every time you challenge your balance in a safe way, you're building strength, confidence, and independence. One of the best things you can do is practice balance drills where you feel safe. Try standing on one foot while holding the back of a sturdy chair with one hand, then slowly let go for a few seconds. Don't rush it. Don't push yourself past comfort, but do it daily. Give your body a chance to remember what it feels like to hold itself upright. Do heel to toe walking across the room like you're on a balance beam. Keep your arms out if you need, but don't touch anything unless you have to. And if you feel nervous, that's okay. That's your body waking up to the challenge. That's exactly what you want. Your balance is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The less you use it, the more it fades. And if you keep relying on furniture to catch you, eventually one day it won't be enough. So please, if this is a habit of yours, I want you to just notice it. Start by catching yourself when you're about to reach for that wall and say, wait, can I do this without it? If the answer is no, that's fine. But if the answer is maybe, then give it a shot. A few seconds here and there adds up to real progress. So let's do a quick recap. Mistake number 2 is relying too much on support like walls, furniture, or even people when walking through your home. And while it might feel safer in the short term, It actually weakens your natural balance system over time. The solution? Gradually reduce your reliance, practice standing and walking with less support, and build your confidence from the ground up. Your future self will thank you. If you found this part helpful, drop a number 2 in the comments so I know you're following along. And let me know if you've caught yourself doing this in your own home. You are not alone. We're all learning and improving together. Now hang tight, because mistake number 3 is one that surprises a lot of people. It has to do with your vision and how you use your eyes. I'll explain everything in just a second. All right, mistake number 3, and this one catches a lot of people off guard, is not using your eyes the right way when you move. Now I know that might sound strange at first, like, what do my eyes have to do with my balance? But listen closely, because this is something we all do without realizing it. And it can either help us stay steady or throw us completely off. You see, your eyes send constant information to your brain about where you are in space. They help you figure out how far the floor is, where the next step is, how fast you're moving, and what direction you're headed. But here's the problem. When people get older, they start looking down too much, or even worse, looking at the wrong things while they walk. And that messes with their entire sense of orientation. I had a man named Harold tell me once, I look down at my feet when I walk, just to make sure they're still there. And I laughed a little, but he was serious. He felt like if he wasn't watching his feet, he might trip. But what he didn't realize was that always staring down at your feet while walking actually makes you more likely to lose your balance. Why? Because when you're looking straight down, your neck is bent, your back is hunched, and your entire center of gravity shifts forward. That alone throws off your posture. But more than that, you're cutting off the brain's ability to anticipate what's coming up ahead. And when your brain can't prepare, it reacts slower. That delay might only be a second, but in the wrong moment, that second can be the difference between staying upright and falling hard. So here's what you need to know. Your vision helps with what's called anticipatory balance. That means your brain is constantly planning for what's about to happen based on what your eyes are seeing. It sees a change in the floor surface, like tile to carpet, and it prepares your body to adjust. It sees a curb, and it gets your foot ready to lift. It sees a person coming toward you, and it starts working out how to avoid a collision. But if your eyes are always down at your shoes, your brain misses all that. And when your body's forced to react to something it didn't see coming, that's when you stumble. Now, I'm not saying never look down. Of course, you need to glance down when stepping over a threshold or walking downstairs. But what I'm saying is, don't stay there. Lift your chin, look forward, scan the area ahead, and give your brain time to process the environment. I worked with a woman named Ellen, 82, sharp as a tack, but she had this habit of walking with her head down, always looking at her toes. She told me it was because she once tripped on a rug corner and got scared. That fear made her stare at the ground from then on. But we worked on changing that habit. I had her start practicing in her living room, lifting her head and looking straight ahead while walking slowly across the room. Then we did it outside. At first, she was nervous. She said it felt weird not staring at the floor, but after a couple weeks, she realized she actually felt more stable, more in control. Her posture improved, her steps got more confident, and she told me she finally felt like she was walking, not just surviving each step. Another thing people don't realize is that peripheral vision, what you see out of the corners of your eyes, is crucial for stability. If you're staring down or zoning in on one small spot, you cut off that extra awareness. You don't see the cat dart across the room, the rug edge, the slipper someone left out, or the shift in lighting that might indicate a change in flooring. Peripheral vision gives your brain a full picture. It's what helps athletes move quickly and smoothly, and older adults need it just as much, especially in the home where most falls happen. So how can you start using your eyes the right way? First, practice walking with your head level. Pick a point ahead of you, maybe the top of a door frame or the back of a chair across the room, and walk toward it without looking down. Then, practice moving your eyes, not your whole head. Try this. Stand in place, keep your head still, and move your eyes left to right, then up and down. Get comfortable using your eyes to scan, not your whole neck. This helps you stay upright and aware. It's a small thing, but it trains your brain to stay alert without throwing your balance off. Another tip is to always make sure your home has good lighting. Poor lighting makes your eyes work harder, and when your eyes are straining, your balance suffers. I can't tell you how many people fall just trying to get to the bathroom in the middle of the night because they're walking in the dark. Motion sensor night lights can make a world of difference. Put them in the hallway, near your bed, in the bathroom. They light up when you move, and they help your eyes adjust instantly. That way, your brain isn't playing catch-up. Vision isn't just about seeing, it's about interpreting your space. If your vision is poor, or if your glasses are outdated, that's another layer of risk. Always get your eyes checked regularly. I had a man once who thought his balance was getting worse, but it turned out he had the wrong prescription in his glasses. Once he updated them, he said he felt 10 years younger on his feet. Don't underestimate the power of clear sight. So let's bring it back. Mistake number 3 is misusing your vision when walking. Staring down at your feet, zoning in on one small spot, not scanning your environment. These habits limit your brain's ability to plan and respond. They reduce your awareness and shift your posture in a way that makes you unstable. The solution? Keep your head up, eyes forward, scan with your eyes, not your neck, and make sure your home has proper lighting. And don't forget to get your eyes checked. Something so simple can be life-changing. All right, if you're still with me, drop a number 3 in the comments to let me know you're following along. Have you ever caught yourself walking with your head down? Be honest. It's more common than you think. And if you fix that habit, tell us how it changed your confidence. You never know who you'll inspire. Now, coming up next, we're going to talk about mistake number 4, and this one's all about something you're doing, or not doing, while sitting that's quietly robbing you of your stability. Don't go anywhere. Now, mistake number 4, and I want you to really listen to this one, because this right here might be the silent thief of your balance, your strength, and even your independence. Mistake number 4 is sitting too much and moving too little. And I get it, I know we live in a world where slowing down in older age is normal, expected even. People say things like, "You've earned your rest," or "just take it easy." But here's the truth. Sitting for long stretches, especially without regular movement, is one of the biggest reasons older adults lose their balance, lose muscle mass, and become fall risk without even realizing it. Let me ask you something. How many hours a day do you spend sitting? Think about it. You wake up, sit at the table for breakfast, maybe move around a bit, then sit on the couch to read or watch TV, then maybe you sit again for lunch, maybe a nap, more sitting in the afternoon, and then dinner. And by the end of the day, you might have spent 10 to 12 hours sitting. Now your brain's working fine, your heart's pumping, but your muscles, they're getting weaker, your joints are getting stiff, and your reaction times are slowing down. And the scary part is, it doesn't feel like anything is wrong until you go to get up and your legs don't respond like they used to. I had a woman named Donna tell me once, "I don't understand why I keep losing my balance. I haven't done anything." And I said, "Exactly. You haven't moved enough for your muscles to stay strong." She was stunned, but she started paying attention. Every hour she was sitting, she set a timer and stood up to stretch or take a short walk around the house. And after a few weeks, her knees didn't ache as much, her steps felt firmer, and she even said she stopped needing to grab the furniture as much to keep her balance. You see, when we're young, movement is a part of everything. Getting up and down, running, climbing stairs. But as we age, we start avoiding stairs. We sit more, we rest more, and we don't realize that inactivity is slowly draining us. It's like leaving a car in the garage for months. It doesn't run the same when you finally try to drive it. Your muscles need regular movement. And I don't mean you need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. I'm talking simple movements. Standing up and sitting down from a chair without using your hands, marching in place, walking laps in your hallway, stretching your arms and legs. Now there's something else about sitting too much that most people don't talk about, and that's what it does to your posture. When you sit a lot, especially if you're slouched or leaning to one side, your spine starts to adapt to that shape. Your core muscles, which are the muscles around your belly and lower back, weaken. And without those core muscles, your balance suffers. You ever seen someone try to get up from a chair and they have to rock 3 or 4 times before they can stand? That's because the muscles that lift them have gotten too weak. And the problem isn't just standing, it's what happens after they stand. They take one step and feel wobbly, like they're not in control of their own body. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But it's not too late. One of the best things you can do is practice standing and sitting several times a day. Pick a firm chair with armrests and do 10 sit-to-stands in a row. If 10's too many, start with 5. If 5's too much, start with 2 or 3. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is progress. And every time you do it, you're waking those muscles back up, telling your brain and body, "Hey, we're still in the game. Another small move with big impact, ankle circles. While you're sitting, lift your feet a few inches off the floor and slowly rotate your ankles. First one way, then the other. Why? Because ankle flexibility is a huge part of balance. Stiff ankles can throw off your whole posture. And while you're at it, do some toe taps and heel lifts. You'll feel those little muscles working, and over time, you'll notice it gets easier to keep your balance when you walk or turn. And let me say this clearly. This isn't just about exercise, it's about interrupting long stretches of inactivity. You don't have to change your entire routine overnight. Just build in movement throughout your day. Commercial breaks, stand up and march in place. Waiting for the microwave? Do a few heel raises. On the phone? Walk around the room. It's about creating a rhythm of motion, not letting your body fall asleep while you're still very much alive. I remember a man named Joe. He was 89 and said he hadn't done real exercise in years, but he wanted to stay independent. So we started small. Every morning before coffee, he'd walk from one end of the hallway to the other and back. Then at lunch, he'd do it again. By the end of the month, he was doing that 5 times a day. His legs got stronger, his confidence shot up, and he told me, "I'm not scared of falling like I used to be." That's the power of movement. It doesn't just change your body, it changes your mind. So mistake number 4 is sitting too much and not moving enough. And it's such a common trap because it feels safe, it feels comfortable. But what it's doing quietly in the background is stealing your strength. It weakens your muscles, stiffens your joints, shortens your steps, and slows your reflexes. But the fix? It's not complicated. You just need to move more. Add in little bursts of motion throughout your day, strengthen those key muscles that support balance, and keep your body alert and ready. All right, drop a number 4 in the comments if you know this one hits home. Tell me what you do during the day to stay active. Maybe you walk your dog, dance in the kitchen, or just stand up every hour and stretch. Whatever it is, share it, because somebody else out there needs to hear that simple changes really do make a big difference. And stick around, because mistake number 5 is coming up next. And it's one that affects your brain more than your body, but it can have a huge impact on your balance and fall risk. Don't miss it. All right, now we're moving into mistake number 5, and I want you to pay attention because this is something that not only affects your physical balance, but also your mental and emotional well-being. Mistake number 5 is ignoring the importance of your mental health and how it's directly linked to your balance. You've probably heard the saying, mind over matter, and let me tell you, when it comes to balance, it's 100% true. The mind plays a huge role in how we move, how we stay steady, and how we react to sudden shifts or wobbles. But here's the catch. When you're feeling stressed, anxious, depressed, or overwhelmed, it can really throw off your balance. Let me explain how. When your brain is dealing with negative emotions, it's constantly on alert. The stress hormones flood your body, and guess what? That affects your nervous system, which controls your movements, your reflexes, and yes, your balance. For example, when you're stressed, you may find yourself tensing up, your muscles get tighter, and your posture can actually change, making you more prone to feeling unstable or dizzy. And over time, if this becomes a constant state, you're training your body to be in a constant state of imbalance, and you don't even realize it. Now think about Joan, a 74-year-old woman I worked with a while back. She'd been feeling depressed ever since her husband passed away. Her energy levels were low, and she felt disconnected from everything, including her body. She was afraid of falling, but didn't understand why she kept feeling more unsteady. After talking with Joan, I realized that her emotional state was impacting her physical health more than she realized. The stress, the sadness, it wasn't just in her mind, it was showing up in her body. Her muscles were tight, her posture was slumped, and her mind was so focused on her fears and anxieties that she didn't trust her own movements. We started working on simple mindfulness techniques to help Joan relax and reconnect with her body. Things like deep breathing, stretching, and even some light yoga. She began to slowly let go of that constant tension. She told me, "It felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, but now I'm learning to let it go." And after a few weeks, Joan not only felt emotionally lighter, but her balance improved. She started walking with more confidence, and her fear of falling began to fade. The mind-body connection is real, folks. You see, when you're emotionally healthy and mentally relaxed, your body responds better. Your nervous system is calm, your reflexes are quicker, and your body doesn't feel the need to overcompensate. It's the difference between walking down the hallway in a relaxed, steady manner versus feeling like you're walking on eggshells, afraid that if you move too quickly, you'll lose your balance. And it's not just about avoiding emotional stress, it's about recognizing how emotions affect your body and learning to take care of your mental health as a part of the balance equation. One thing I encourage you to try is breathing exercises. Here's a simple one you can do right now. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4, hold it for a second, and then slowly breathe out through your mouth for a count of 6. Do that for a few minutes and notice how you feel afterward. I promise you'll feel a little less tense, a little more grounded, and a little more steady. This isn't just about reducing anxiety. It's about giving your body the space it needs to regain its equilibrium. Another great way to improve mental balance is through social connection. I know it's easy to isolate yourself, especially as you age or go through challenging times, but socializing, staying connected with friends, family, or even joining a group can help keep your mind sharp and positive. The brain is constantly learning and adapting, and when you engage in meaningful conversations, play games, or participate in activities that challenge your thinking, you're also helping your balance. It's a double benefit. Your mind stays active, and your body responds with better coordination and steadiness. And let's not forget about sleep. Sleep and mental health go hand in hand. Poor sleep or a lack of sleep can mess with your focus, your reaction times, and yes, your balance. I don't know if you've ever woken up after a night of poor sleep and felt like you were walking through a fog, but it's a real thing. When we don't get enough restful sleep, our brain doesn't have the time it needs to repair and recharge, and that can leave us feeling disoriented, off balance, and more prone to falls. So make sure you're getting enough sleep each night and focus on improving the quality of your rest. Good sleep hygiene, like sticking to a routine, avoiding caffeine late in the day, and creating a calm, dark environment for sleeping, can make a world of difference. I want to emphasize here, mental health isn't just about not feeling depressed or anxious. It's about feeling calm, confident, and engaged in life. It's about maintaining your sense of self-worth, your purpose, and your connection to the world around you. And I know it's not always easy. Life can be tough, and it's okay to have your moments. But taking care of your mental well-being is just as important as taking care of your physical health. When you're mentally strong, your body follows suit, your balance improves, your posture strengthens, and you're more able to move confidently through the world. All right, if you've been with me so far and this is making sense to you, drop a number 5 in the comments below. I want to hear how you take care of your mental health and what strategies you found helpful in keeping your balance steady. Let's keep the conversation going. So, to recap mistake number 5, don't ignore your mental health. Stress, anxiety, and depression affect more than just your mind. They affect your body too. Take care of your emotional health, practice relaxation, stay socially active, and don't neglect the importance of sleep. These are all critical components in maintaining balance. And when you start feeling better mentally, your body will thank you for it. All right, that wraps up mistake number 5, and we've covered a lot of ground today. But I want to leave you with one last thought before we finish up. The small changes we've talked about, the corrections to these common mistakes, they don't just happen overnight. They take time, patience, and practice. But every little step you take toward improving your balance adds up. Whether it's moving more, standing up a little more often, working on your mental health, or practicing some simple exercises, it all makes a difference. And remember, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. And every time you take action, you're investing in your future. A future where you feel strong, steady, and independent. We've covered a lot of important points today, but I want to finish up by leaving you with some final thoughts that will help tie everything together. The 5 mistakes we talked about: lack of foot and ankle strength, neglecting balance exercises, wearing the wrong shoes, relying too much on furniture or walls for support, and ignoring mental and emotional health, are all things you can address starting today. It's never too late to make a change. You don't need to wait for a fall to happen before taking action. You can start right now making small changes every day that will add up to a big difference in your overall stability, health, and well-being. And the best part? You don't have to do this alone. Whether you're working with a physical therapist, a trainer, or even just a friend or family member, there are people who can support you as you work toward better balance. Just like Sarah, Joan, and Tom, you too can regain your confidence, your strength, and your stability. You can live life without the constant fear of falling or losing your balance. So don't wait. Take that first step today. Start incorporating some of these strategies into your daily routine. Try out the balance exercises, get those feet stronger, make sure your shoes are providing the right support, and pay attention to your mental health. Remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. Now, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you for sticking with me. You've learned a lot today, and now it's time to put it into action. I want to hear from you. What changes are you going to make? Are you going to start with strengthening your ankles and feet? Or maybe you're going to focus on your shoes? Whatever it is, share it in the comments below, and let's all inspire each other to keep moving forward. Remember, it's all about progress, not perfection. Every day is a new opportunity to improve your balance and feel stronger in your body and mind. Before we finish up, I want to remind you that you don't have to face the challenges of aging alone. There's a whole community out there, and we're here to support each other. If you're not already part of this community, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We've got a lot more content coming your way, designed to help you stay healthy, independent, and strong as you age. Your support means the world to us, and we're so glad to have you as part of this journey. In the coming weeks, we'll be diving deeper into more topics around aging gracefully, staying active, and keeping both your body and mind sharp. We'll be talking about exercises, nutrition tips, and other ways to improve your health and quality of life. So make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for more. All right, let's wrap things up. Remember, balance isn't just about physical strength. It's about taking care of your body, your mind, and your emotions. The steps you take today will pay off tomorrow, and with each small change you make, you'll be building a stronger, steadier future for yourself. Thanks again for being here, for listening, and for committing to improving your balance. We're in this together, and I'm so proud of you for taking the first steps to a better, healthier life. Until next time, take care, stay steady, and keep moving forward. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited to hear how you're going to use what you've learned to improve your balance. Share your thoughts and your action plan in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue bringing you great content that helps you live your best life. Until next time, take care of yourselves and keep up the great work. And remember, the journey to better balance is just that, a journey. Each step you take is progress, and every step counts. Stay steady, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.